Sometimes the biggest disasters are stopped by the smallest things. What if I told you the entire internet, everything we rely on, banking, communication, you name it, was nearly brought to its knees by a clue so tiny you'd literally miss it in the blink of an eye? This isn't a spy movie plot. This is a true story, and it is absolutely wild.
Half a second. That's it. 500 milliseconds. That was the razor-thin margin that stood between our normal digital world and a global catastrophe. It's a delay so small, so insignificant, that pretty much anyone would have just brushed it off as a random glitch.
And that really is the central question here, isn't it? How could a delay that's shorter than the time it takes you to snap your fingers be the only warning sign, the only clue to a meticulously planned multi-year cyber attack? Well, the answer is, it's both brilliant and completely terrifying.
So let's meet our unsuspecting hero, Andres Freund. He wasn't some cyber sleuth hunting for a global conspiracy. Nope, he was just a guy doing his job, running some routine performance checks on a piece of open source software. He just happened to be paying attention when really no one else was.
And the clue itself? This is the crazy part. It was almost laughably simple. When Andres tried to log into a server using SSH, which is a super standard, secure tool that tech folks use all the time, it took just over half a second longer than it should have. That's it. That 500 millisecond delay was the only visible symptom of a massively sophisticated backdoor buried deep inside the code. So that tiny clue starts to unravel this 2-year-long con, a whole operation orchestrated by this shadowy figure known only as Jia Tan. This wasn't a quick smash-and-grab job. Oh no, this was the digital version of a sleeper agent, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And you really have to look at this timeline to appreciate the sheer patience here. Jia Tan starts way back in October 2021 with just a tiny, harmless little software patch. For months and months, they submit useful fixes, building this reputation as a helpful, reliable developer. They played the long game, slowly, carefully earning the trust of the community before they even thought about making their move.
So what do we call this kind of crime? It's known as a supply chain attack. Basically, instead of trying to attack a fortress like Google or Amazon head-on, you go after one of their suppliers. In this case, a small but totally critical piece of software that pretty much everyone uses called XZ Utils. The real genius of this attack was how it was hidden. Jia Tan hid the malicious code in plain sight, tucked away inside what just looked like junk test files. It's like hiding a secret weapon inside the blueprints for a new building. Security looks at the blueprints, says everything looks fine, and never realizes the instructions to build the weapon are hidden right there inside. But here's the thing, this story isn't just about clever code. It's about a ruthless psychological attack. Before Jia Tan could hack the software, they first had to hack the human who was in control of it. All of a sudden, these fake accounts, like this one from Jigar Kamar, just pop up out of nowhere, and they start publicly shaming the project's original maintainer, a guy named Lasse Collin. I mean, just listen to that tone. It's so aggressive and dismissive. It's designed to create this feeling of crisis and failure around him. And then it gets even more cruel. Another fake account, Dennis Enns, starts weaponizing the maintainer's personal struggles against him. This isn't just professional pressure anymore. It's a targeted bullying campaign. They're using his vulnerability as a crowbar to pry open access to the project. It's just awful. And here's the heartbreaking response from Lasse Collin, the volunteer maintainer. He's just being totally honest about his burnout and his mental health. And in this incredibly vulnerable state, getting pressured from all these different angles, he suggests that maybe Jia Tan, the helpful, reliable new contributor, should take on a bigger role. The manipulation it worked perfectly. And that's the thing. This was a playbook, a deliberate strategy. The attackers manufactured a problem, isolated the person in charge, exploited his personal struggles, and then presented their own agent as the one and only solution. And as soon as Jia Tan had the keys to the kingdom, all those fake accounts, poof, they vanished without a trace. So, with the human obstacle out of the way, Jia Tan was finally free to insert the final payload, a ghost in the machine, designed to take over the world's servers, completely undetected. The bank vault analogy just explains this perfectly. For 2 years, Jia Tan helped improve the public blueprints, the source code, so everyone trusted him.
Then, he brought in what looked like some garbage test files, but they secretly contained a master key. So when all these Linux servers around the world were being built using the new blueprints, a hidden script took that key and welded it right into the main lock. The result? The attacker could now open any of these servers from anywhere without even needing a password. And this right here shows you the stakes. On the left, that's our world, the one where one super observant engineer noticed a tiny lag. On the right, that's the world we almost had. A world where countless servers running huge parts of the internet are secretly controlled by some malicious, unknown actor. The only thing separating these two realities was 500 milliseconds. Just think about that for a second. The only reason this whole thing was caught was because the attacker's code was just a little bit sloppy. A tiny bit of inefficiency created that half-second delay. If that code had been just a little bit cleaner, or if Andres Freund had decided to grab a coffee at that exact moment, this backdoor would be in millions of systems right now, just sitting there, silently waiting. Which, of course, leaves us with a deeply unsettling question. This attack, this massive global threat, was stopped by pure dumb luck. And it really makes you worry about our entire digital world, which is built on the trust of open-source volunteers. So the question you have to ask is, how many other Jia Tans are out there, patiently playing the long game, hiding inside the very code that runs our world?